Good evening. My name is Demarie Woods. I'm the backend developer for Cougar Solutions. I'll be demonstrating our application tonight. But before I do, I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about our application. So our application is called Next Veteran. It is a student walk-in visitor management system that allows VA certifying officials to manage a queue of students who are waiting in their lobby. It also allows them to preview each student's issue before actually speaking with the student, and this helps them to be more proactive in handling student issues instead of reactive. So as you heard earlier, the initial problem was once a student walks into the office to speak with one of the VA certifying officials, they have to ring a bell for service. And this is because the front reception desk may be unmanned for large portions of the day due to the fact that the receptionist is only part-time and they do not have enough VA staff members to man it at all hours of the day. Okay? So the certifying official has to come up and address the student's issue. A lot of the times when they do, they're initially going in blind with no knowledge of what the student's issue is. And so they may have to go back to their desk to look up additional information on the student, which causes a major disruption to their work. On the flip side of that coin, once a student comes in, most of the time they have no idea which certifying official they actually need to speak to. What our system does, it streamlines the entire student reception process by allowing the students to check in to see their chosen certifying official all through a self-service student kiosk. Okay? And it also allows the VA certifying officials to preview and manage a queue of students who are waiting in the lobby to see them, all while sitting at their desk through a user console. Okay? It also allows VA management to view reports on how much student traffic they're receiving throughout the year. And they can then use those reports to justify hiring additional staff members and requesting additional funding. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into the details of our application. So as you heard earlier, our application is logically divided into 3 parts. The first part of the application is the student kiosk, and this will be used by the students to submit their information to the Veterans Affairs Center certifying officials. Now, this part of the application will be self-service, and it will run on the front lobby, run in a separate machine in the front lobby of the Veterans Affairs Center, probably on an iPad or a laptop. Okay, so that students can come in, submit their information, and have a seat when they're done. All right. The next part of the application will be a user console. This will be used by the certifying officials to preview and view each student in the queue that's waiting in the lobby. Okay. This will run on each individual certifying official's machine so that all the certifying officials can view the students who are waiting in the lobby. Okay. The last part of the application is an admin user console. This will be used by the VA management to view reports on how much student traffic they're receiving, while also allowing them to view and remove system users and staff from the system. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into our application. So the screen we're at now is the student kiosk home screen. This is the screen students will see upon arrival to the Veterans Affairs Center. They have a choice of either a first-time visitor or returning visitor. Now, a first-time visitor is someone who's never been to the Veterans Affairs Center or used the student kiosk before. Okay? And a returning visitor is someone who's been to the Veterans Affairs Center, used this student kiosk, and are just returning for a follow-up visit with one of the VA certifying officials. Also below here, you'll see a FAQ, frequently asked questions section. This is so students can view and answer to one of the commonly asked questions that students come in with, possibly eliminating the need for a student visit altogether. Okay? And we'll have our user console login area and our admin user console login area, which we will view later on. So firstly, we'll be viewing the system from a first-time visitor's perspective, okay? And then we'll see returning visitor later on, all right? So if I click on first-time visitor, I got to take it to a form that asks for some initial information. This is some of this information is the information that a VA certifying official will need in order to process a student's request, okay? So we have it asks for our student ID, campus, first name, last name, phone number, email, our federal and state education benefits. Now, we do have validations on this table. There are validations in place to ensure that only correct information is submitted. So that's what I'm going to be showing you now. Okay? So the first thing we're going to be validating is our email column. So our sponsor requested that each email entered into the system only be a official LSCS school email address. And the LSCS school email addresses contain a my.lonestar.edu email address. Okay, so they don't want at Gmail, they don't want at Yahoo or at AOL or anything like that. They only want official school email addresses, and so that's where we're going to be validating against. All right. So I'll go ahead and enter some initial information just to show you our validations. All right. And gmail.com, and we'll enter a Gmail email address. We'll select our federal and state education benefits, and we'll go ahead and click proceed. And as you can see, we got our error message that says Vernon at Gmail is incorrect. Please use a my.lonestar.edu email. Okay, so it clears out our form so we can submit that information again. Okay, so this time we'll go ahead and enter a correct email address. But this time we'll go ahead and validate against student ID and phone number. So a student ID is normally 7 digits long. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to be entering an 8-digit long number and 8-digit long student ID number and a 10-digit long phone number, just to show you our validations are in place. All right. All right. In our student ID number, we'll select our campus. All right. All right. We enter our phone number. Go ahead and enter our email address, which will be a my.lonestar.edu. Select our federal and state education benefits. We'll click proceed. Oh, I'm sorry. We misspelled our email address, so we have to start back over. Sorry. Alright. Enter our phone number. As I said before, we'll go ahead and enter our email address. Select our federal and state education benefits. We'll click proceed. And as you can see, we get that error. It says student ID is too long. Please, should be a maximum of 7 characters, and phone number is invalid. So we can go ahead and correct these, and then we should get presented with our confirmation screen that asks us to confirm our information. But before we do that, I'm going to show you that you may be wondering that what happens if a student goes in and uses this form twice, and so that student ID number is already saved. We don't want it to be saved twice in the database. So this form does in fact validate if the information has already existed in the database. So I'm going to be showing you that. I'm going to enter a student ID number that already exists, just to show you that. See, as you can see, the student with this student ID number already exists in the system. Please choose returning visitor. So that student ID number already exists in the system before it went to the database. Looked through it and saw that this student ID number already exists, and so it disallowed that information to be entered twice. All right, so we'll go ahead and enter the correct information now. All right, now we should get taken to the confirmation screen. As you can see, this is our confirmation screen. We can review our information for accuracy and confirm if it's correct. Okay, and if we want, we can go back and edit our information. I'm going to go ahead and edit our phone number to be a 4433, and I'm going to update that. And as you can see, that phone number was successfully updated. All right. Now that our information is correct, we can go ahead and proceed to sign in. All right. So now that we did all that, we get taken to our check-in screen. We can then check in to see one of our available certifying officials. We get asked for our ID number again, and to select an available staff member. Now the keyword here is an available staff member, based on the first letter of your last name and your education benefit. Now our last name was Strawberry, so our first letter of our last name starts with an S, and our education benefit was Chapter 33. So as you can see, next to each certifying official's picture is their name, their letters they're assigned, and the benefits they're assigned. So we need to look for someone who has who handles S and Chapter 33 benefits. Okay, so as you can see, that we look through and see that is in fact Ms. Tricia O'Brien. She handles H through L and Q through Z. She also handles Chapter 33. All right, so we can go ahead. We know that we need to choose her. All right, but we could choose anybody else. We do if we have if we want to see somebody about our federal, state benefit, we can go ahead and choose Miss Linda Wynn here. All right. So next we get to choose our reason for visiting today. Now this is the most common issues that students come in with to the Veterans Affairs Center with. Okay, and this was provided to us by our sponsor. Okay, so if the issue is not on here, the students can choose other not listed, and they can then enter additional notes for the certifying official. All right. So my issue is on here. I'm going to say that I added a class, Math 1304. Can you add this to my certification? All right. All right. I'm going to go ahead. Everything looks correct except my student ID. Let me put that in there. I'm going to go ahead and click proceed. And it shows my name, who I'm here to see, Tricia O'Brien, reason for visit. And I go ahead and click confirm. I get presented with a personalized success message that says, "Thank you, Darren, for providing information. Please have a seat. Tricia O'Brien will be with you shortly." I can go ahead and click proceed, close, and I will be taken back to the student home screen so that another student may sign in behind me and check in to see a Veteran Affairs certifying official. Okay. So now that I've done that, now that I've checked in to see a certifying official, now that I'm going to be playing the role of the certifying official, I want to be able to view that student that just checked in to see me. All right. So I'll go ahead and from our student kiosk home screen, I'll go ahead and click on our user console login area. Now, as you can see, this is our user console login area. You must have the correct username and password in order to proceed in here. Now you may see this down here that says please use the credentials below to log in. This is for demonstration purposes. It was for our team members to be able to log in easily, and Professor, if you wanted to log in to view our system, we provided that here for you as well. So in the application that we deployed for our client, we actually removed that from the system. All right. So I'll go ahead and use that password to log in. All right. And as you can see, we can take it to our user console. Now, this is our user console. This is the console that certifying officials review, use to view the students who are waiting in the lobby. And as I know you heard that sound. So that sound notifies the certifying officials that a student has walked into the lobby and checked in using the student kiosk, and they should look at the screen. So that sound is for the already existing system they already have in place, which is a bell to ring for service. Okay. So we wanted to digitize that and add it to our system due to the fact that a certifying official may not always be looking at this screen. And so we don't want them to have to look at the screen constantly for a student to check in. We want them to be able to go back to doing their work on another screen. And then if they hear that sound, they can then pull up the screen and see what's going on. All right. So It does in fact refresh every 30 seconds, as you can see.